Today's lesson is on the forehand, whether to hit with an open stance or a closed stance. And the simple answer is you use both. You're going to use open stance and closed stance. It all depends on the situation. The shot that your opponent has given you is going to determine whether you're going to try and close the stance, where, okay, a closed stance would be like this, where the feet are forming a line here, which is pretty much perpendicular to the net. And an open stance would be here when you're hitting the ball in this position. This would be a full open stance, semi-open stance. Okay, so it all depends on the situation. That's the bottom line. Now, when you don't have to move that far for the ball, my suggestion is close the stance. Now, there's a debate about this. How do you get more power? With an open stance or with a closed stance? Personally, I like the closed stance. Now, some other tennis gurus might say, well, when you get that torque from the open stance, you know, you can hit the ball harder. I don't necessarily agree with that, because when you close the stance, you're still getting torque here. And now you're unleashing that and you're stepping in. So by stepping in, you're getting your weight into the shot more. So personally, I like to close the stance every time I can. Now, if my opponent hits a ball out wide though, and I don't have time, they hit a ball out there and I'm turning, I'm coming, I set my right foot, and if I don't have time to get that left foot out there and step in, I'm going to have to hit an open stance. Now, if you don't have to go too far, you might just plant that right leg, get your torque, hit the ball, push off, and you're back to the middle. Now, if you really have to move for the shot, you're going to have to do a little hop after you hit the ball. So let's say you're here and you're pulled wide, you're coming out, you're going to have to hit a little hop there, and then you're pushing off. So remember, it's all about the situation. The other time you want to use an open stance is when the ball is high. When the ball's up around shoulder height, you're better off with an open stance. You know, you can hit the ball with a closed stance, but from the baseline, I think the open stance works a little better with a high ball. Close the stance all the time when you have to move forward. You want to just close it up. So let's say I'm here, I see a shorter ball, I come up for that ball, I'm closing the stance, I hit, and then I'm just going to keep moving in. So bottom line, situation. What has your opponent given you? If it's out wide, you might have to hit the open stance. If you don't have to move that far for the ball, close the stance, step in. That's my suggestion. Let me demo those shots for you.
Okay, here in slow motion, you can get a good look at an open stance. Now, as I'm moving to the ball, I'm going to set my rear leg, my right leg, right there. Now, I don't have time to step in with my left foot. My shoulders have turned. I have good torque with my upper body. Notice my shoulders are perpendicular. Now I'm swinging through.
But if you have time, you can close the stance and step in. And then if you get the high ball, you know, sometimes that open stance works a little better. So just open the stance and you can get good torque with the upper body. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Remember, don't get too hung up on, you know, which is better, closed stance or open stance. You need them both if you're going to be a good player. All great players have both shots. So work on both, and please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Any questions or comments, please put them down there. I'll do my best to answer. And go to my blog at my website. Lots of free video content there. I've got a free serve course, backhand course, and a forehand course. So check it out. All the best.